So hello, everyone. We are here with Heidi, and we actually have a video from Heidi when she was midway through the program, and this is her having graduated, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about her experience in the Awakening Transformation Program. So hey, Heidi.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Cool. So just tell us a little bit about what brought you to the program initially. Like, why did you reach out to me, back when you did?
Well, I was raised in a very religious, conservative home, and um, I took some time off from that as I didn't really know how I felt about all of it. And then I got back into the Bible and was reading and just felt such a relationship, I would say rekindle, but I think I probably didn't have this type of relationship with God originally. So that was just really encouraging. But along with that, popped up some of these metaphysical things, certain feelings and intuitions I used to have when I was younger that I think I buried.
Mhm.
I was taught very strongly to rely on God's word and nothing else, and it wasn't about your feelings. And although it was well intentioned, it really stifled my intuition. And I think that started to awaken again when my relationship with God began to get closer. So these things would come up. I started having these feelings again, intuitions. I became interested in these types of things. I was led to certain books about metaphysical things. I met an energy healer, and I worked with her for a bit, which was really good to get rid of some old emotions and some anger and things that had built up that I needed to clear myself of. But at a certain point, she felt that we were done and I should continue on my own. So here I was thinking, okay, well, what's next? Feeling a little bit lost, a little bit stuck. And then I came across your metaphysical Christian group on Facebook, and I thought, this is interesting, because I didn't want to be taken too far into the metaphysical, as I know there can be extremists in any type of spirituality. There can be extremists there too. I wanted it still to be connected to God and the Bible and wrapped up in all of that. So this was very intriguing to me and fulfilled that questioning as to how do I connect the two? Are they connected? Can they be connected?
Oh, I love that. And now, do you believe that they are connected?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. And so it sounds like you're not having those kind of deep questions about, like, can these two go together or not?
No, and it was such questioning. It was almost exhausting, where you just start logically trying to question everything. What do I do with this new information that I feel is a part of who I am, and God made me? So how do I connect that to what I believe about the Bible? So no, I no longer question that. It's a relief. It's a relief now.
Oh, I love that. I get like chills just hearing you say that, because then you can live in this place of freedom and develop your intuition, which, oh my gosh, your intuition has just exploded over the past few months. And so tell us just a little bit about that. Let's just jump right into your intuition, because that was one of your goals when you entered the program. And where are you now with relying on your intuition and not dismissing the Bible, but using those together?
Okay. Well, one thing that I've always felt is a strong knowing about certain people. When you get in certain situations, I could tell what kind of person they were. I just thought that was me. It might have been a little bit strange, but I find out a lot of people have that, and that is That is part of my intuition, and it's one of my God-given gifts.
Mm-hmm.
So I did feel so much relief when I found that there is a connection, and God made me this way, and there's a purpose for it,
Mm-hmm.
and to be able to grow that. So now that I knew this is okay, it's how I was supposed to be, it's how I was made, I could really work on developing it further. And what a gift God has given us, to be in touch with that wisdom. I feel is like we're in tune with his wisdom for us, that helps us navigate life and learn how to further it. And really it's about developing our gifts so that we can serve others. which I
Yeah.
feel so much more strongly even now that I know I have one and what it is and how to use it.
Oh, I love that. So let's talk about some of the ways that you're in service because there's so many. What are some of the things that have come about since you've graduated? Because this is part of what I love. You know, we have the 10 weeks, but then we have graduation, and that's when things really begin to explode for people.
Well, so that knowing, that being able to tell what people are about or feeling is really helpful, I believe, when people need someone to talk to. I'll get that. I used to always get that people would just come and complete strangers would kind of unload their whole life on me, and I was like, oh. And now I can be there to listen. Sometimes I can tell they just need someone to hear them, and sometimes it's about encouraging them, and so it's really tuning into that and being present for that person. I also had the opportunity to attend animal communication workshop, and I've always had a strong connection to animals, domestic and wild animals, and I just thought it was part of being an introvert, and sometimes animals are easier to deal with than people. But it really clicked for me, and it brought forth this possibility of a new way of serving people. So many of us have pets that are part of our families, and it's so important to sometimes be able to communicate with them. And so that's one thing that's come up. And I know, I don't know when it'll happen, but I think at some point maybe I will become a yoga teacher or go through some yoga training, is that I find is very important for our bodies and our minds, and ties in also with meditation. So there are a lot of opportunities. I'm excited to see how they come about. I'm not really worried about the how, when, or why at this point. I just know
Perfect.
I'm in the right place, and it'll happen when it's time.
Yes, I love that because you're tapping into your intuition. That's perfect.
Yeah.
And I'll give Heidi our testimonial here too, because she did a session on my pet, and my pet's right here beside me where he usually is when I'm on camera. And she was just spot on. And so I love seeing your intuition, like you developed your intuition in the program. And then, now you're serving people and animals. And like you were able to give that gift to me. Like it was beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad I could do that.
I love it. And let's talk about one more thing, at least regarding your intuition, which is at the very end of the program. And as you're moving into graduation, you were searching for a house. And
Yes.
let's talk about that process, because you were like so calm and cool and collected, and house buying can be stressful, but not for you. So tell us a little bit about your intuitive process with, finding the house and how you're looking forward to that. You're not in it quite yet, but I know it's in your hands.
Yes, we own it. We're just not quite in it yet. Well, I'd been wanting to move somewhere else for probably a couple of years and keep my eyes open. And I was really limiting myself with certain self-talk about where I wanted, the very particulars about where I wanted to move and what it had to be like. And then one day I realized that's silly. It's based on an unfounded fear, right? Something might or might never happen. These things, fear stops us from doing a lot and from moving forward. So I even said out loud, well, that's ridiculous. I would live in this area, etc. That very evening, my partner called and he said, do you know so-and-so is selling their house? And I said, well, I knew they were talking about it. Is it on the market? Do they have a sign up? No, but I'm just hearing through word of mouth that they're selling it. So I knew this man, I had his number. So I called him and I'm like, are you selling your house? Because it was in a really nice spot. It would work out perfectly. And it just kind of led from there. And I just followed it. I didn't even stop to question, because I think when I took that block out of my way and really opened up what could happen, it was like the universe or God was saying, finally removed that one stipulation. We're waiting. We have all the steps. And it just flowed right through. And it's been an amazing, exciting process. And so, yeah, it still amazes me how it came about.
I love it. I love it. And like, you have so many plans for what you're going to do with that property and in service to you and in service to others. So I'm so excited about it. And do you feel like you gained concrete tools that helped you in that process throughout the 12 weeks? 10 weeks, 10 weeks.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's hard for me to go back and think what tools, because I think I've integrated them so much in my everyday life that they just seem more natural to me. One thing that was nice and taking that time to go through is you keep practicing them so they start to become second nature. And really they make a big difference. Just doing them a couple of times, you realize how much it's helping. And it makes you feel stronger and more connected to God and what your path is and where he's leading you. So definitely great tools, and so many different ways to support ourselves.
Lovely. That's exactly what that's exactly why I built the program. So I am so happy that you said yes to it. And I love seeing everything that's happening in your life. And part of the great thing about this program is you all never really get rid of me unless you choose to. And so we all stay connected after graduation too, just like this. And so, so I love seeing what people are doing, months and years later too. So it's wonderful. Cool. Thank you so much for telling us about your experience.
Yes, well, thank you for the program. It's been life-changing.
Oh, thank you.